Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here. And in today's GTA video, we're going to be looking at an interesting document that was found suggesting that Rockstar are working on some really cool stuff for Grand Theft Auto 6. So I think this was found a couple of days ago. I first saw this posted on the GTA 6 subreddit. It was actually a link to a publicly viewable document on the website USPTO, which is United States Patent Trademark Office or something like that. And as I'm sure you guys know, but just so everyone's on the same page, a patent is essentially a license that gives you the right or the sole ability to make something or use something or sell an invention. Something very similar to that is like copyright and trademark, which I'm sure terms you've heard before. But that's what Take-Two Interactive ended up actually filing here. So this is what it looks like. It is a system and method for virtual navigation in a gaming environment. And you guys can see there that the patent applicant is Take-Two Interactive Software, and the inventors are two guys, David Hind and Simon Parr, or I don't know how you pronounce his name, but that's the two guys that are the inventors. Now, it is Take-Two Interactive, which is the parent company of Rockstar Games, but more evidence that confirms this is actually for Rockstar, because those two inventors, David Hind, he is actually the Associate Director of Technology at Rockstar, and Simon Parr is the lead AI programmer at Rockstar. So this is not just another Take-Two game we're dealing with here. This is something for Rockstar Games. And that's pretty interesting. So I will, of course, leave a link to this site in the description alongside all the other Take-Two patents that you can see that they have filed over the last couple of years. It's pretty interesting to check out. And the entire document is also very interesting. It's filled with a lot of very interesting language, a lot that I don't understand because it really dives into like developing, coding, computer science, the making of video games, which is way above what I am capable of understanding. But I'm sure you guys, or some of you guys watching, absolutely will. The only other thing that I found that's interesting about this is the date it was filed, which was on October 29th, 2020. So it's very recent. So that's why a lot of people suspect this is for GTA 6, because Red Dead Redemption 2 already out, Grand Theft Auto 5 already out. So because those games are already out and already developed and completed, aside from maybe like the expanded and enhanced version of GTA 5 and maybe some other version of Red Dead Redemption 2, I think it's very likely that this is for a future Rockstar Games project. And if you're to believe rumors and reports and media outlets and journalists, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be Rockstar's next game. So I think it's very clear that the patent is for that. And the patent is very interesting. I don't know a lot about programming, but as far as I could understand from it, it's essentially new navigation that allows direct access parts of the map without a loading screen. So maybe this means there's going to be more islands or more areas that we could access without having to go through like a black screen or a cutscene to get to. So, for example, you know how you go from like the mainland to North Yankton during one of the few missions in the game, but you have to go through like a little bit of a cutscene where Michael gets on an airplane. Maybe there would be no cutscene and you just go directly to North Yankton. And the part about the NPCs kind of sounds like it's an improvement on Red Dead Redemption 2's NPC intelligence, which was honestly like the best part of Red Dead Redemption 2. I know this is a video about Grand Theft Auto 6, but in Red Dead Redemption 2, the NPCs were so smart. Like they would react to the things you do, not only when you're directly in front of them, but also they would be able to remember events that you had done like weeks ago, which was amazing. So maybe it's improving NPC intelligence. So if I had to take a guess, I'm going to assume just from these patents alone that the GTA 6 new map is going to be huge. Now, it could be roughly based on Vice City's Florida, but could also include parts of the Caribbean and South America, which, if you, again, want to believe rumors and reports, that's sort of the vibe that people have been giving off, is that it's going to take place in Vice City, but that there's going to be access to other countries, the Caribbean, South America, similar to what happened in Red Dead Redemption 2. So I think the map is going to be huge, but there could be a big distance between the islands, which would be a need for the ability to go from parts of the map without a loading screen. because that would kind of be a buzzkill if you wanted to go from Vice City to the Caribbean, but I had to go through a loading screen. You're like, really? We're playing this on a PS5, but I can't go from one part of the map to the other without having to go through a loading screen? Now, again, I'm sure some of you guys will be able to interpret the patent a little bit better. I am not a programmer, so reading this was almost like looking at a foreign language. But I think it definitely has something to do with the way NPCs travel, making the traffic in the game feel more realistic, focusing on the long distance travel of NPCs and cars and how they're going to work. But all of that sounds really awesome. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about making a bigger world for Grand Theft Auto 6 and making the NPCs and traffic, which are a huge part of the world, feel more realistic. So I actually really, really like that a lot. Now, the one person who has chimed in a lot on this regarding the patents is actually Rockstar Games insider TezFunds2, who actually had a couple of things to say over the last few days since this has started to roll out on the GTA forum site. He said, the patents are an interesting read, but most of them, if not all of them, are already utilized by Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5. While some could be Red Dead Redemption 2 exclusive, but either way, these are most likely as well-established features part of the engine. So it's like speculating whether existing features would be utilized in the next title. I do have to say, these patents provide valuable insight into the engine and the improvements that were made into it. I do sure hope that improved AI means we won't have to deal with the NPCs similar to the GTA 5 traffic ones. And again, good point by TezFunds2. Some of this might have been used in previous Rockstar titles, but the hope is that Rockstar continues to improve on the NPC behavior. Because if you just compare the NPCs from GTA 5 to Red Dead Redemption 2, it's almost night and day. And I hope that we get that same jump from Red Dead Redemption 2 to GTA 6, that it really does feel like night and day. Some more follow-up. Someone linking the patent said GTA seems to be going in an MMO direction, emphasis on massive. And TezFunds2 says this is already utilized by Red Dead Online, seamless merging. It's when the game suddenly throws you into a different lobby. So to his point, some of this looks like it has already been utilized in Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Online, but that's not really a big problem or anything like that. And then some more follow-up as far as when the game potentially started getting developed, which is why we might start seeing some of these new patents. Someone said, well, Tim Neff's CV suggests he's been involved in 2017 already. And to me, that is one of the most believable leaks. Remember, he denied being in Red Dead Redemption 2, yet he is in the credits. RDR2 mocap also started before GTA 5's release. It's not that unbelievable to suggest that the mocap has been going on at least from 2017 onwards. And he says, Grand Theft Auto 5's development ceased in August 2013. And the interesting part is that another user, Lynn LFC, provided a quote from Roger Clark that he started mocapping in the exact same month. So we can conclude that Red Dead Redemption 2 development started right after GTA 5's development was done. And we can expect the same with GTA 6, which would be in late 2017, when its development presumably started. So if that's the case in late 2017, that means GTA 6 has been in full development for only a little over 3 years, which is not a lot to create a massive title like that. So I don't know if that means good news or bad news, because you would assume it's going to take Rockstar like 5, 6, 7, 8 years to develop this thing. We could be looking at like 2023, 2024 before Grand Theft Auto 6 is actually out, which would, funny enough, push it past the 10-year anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 5 actually coming out, which I don't know if that's sad, funny, depressing, that some people could be 20 years old when GTA 5 came out, and if this is the case, they could be in their 30s by the time the next Grand Theft Auto game comes out. Like, that's wild. So I would, of course, love to hear from you guys in the comments down below on what you think of these patents and what do you think it means for the development of Grand Theft Auto 6. Do you think we're further along than we think? Do you think Rockstar is really just getting started? And what do you think this means for the map, traffic, cars, NPCs, the world? Let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. Would love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well, Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.